We want to go now to our legal analyst, Jeff Hosford from Hosford Law Firm for our weekly legal line. Jeff, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we want to talk with you today about sentencing. And so let's talk about sentencing a little bit, Jeff. So we often hear judges will sentence a convicted person to a certain amount of time, but with a good majority of that or some part of it suspended. Why does this happen?
Well, typically that's done in a case where, say, someone has done something wrong and the judge looks at the situation and feels like they might want to give that person a chance to redeem themselves or a chance to show that they're really serious about how this event may have changed their lives and may have moved them towards a situation where they're not going to fall back into that system. For example, if you got a 20-year sentence and then you spend 15, that means the person's going to do 5 years in jail, whatever portion of that is required by the Mississippi Department of Corrections, and then they're released. And they'll usually put on post-release at that point, which means they have to serve that on 5 years of reporting to a probation officer. That 15-year sentence is hanging above their head during that period of probation, which means should they violate that period of probation, there's a chance, a very strong likelihood, that the judge could then sentence them to the remaining 15 years in jail.
What sort of factors does a judge look at in making that determination whether to suspend a portion of a sentence?
Typically, it's things like the severity of the crime, what steps the person may or may not have taken to change their life, because typically people are out on bond. If somebody's gone, they've gotten a job, or they've gone to rehab because the crime may have been caused by a drug addiction. Those kind of things come into play. Also, community involvement before and after the crime, what other people say about the individual, whether it is an ongoing basis or a one-time occurrence that the person just made a mistake and then the judge has other people saying you should take a chance on this person. Those kind of things all play into it.
All right. We always appreciate your perspective on these things, Jeff. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me.